Hey, what's up you guys? Raw Food Writer here, and today I'm going to show you how I stay healthy by eating tropical fruit in Pennsylvania in the dead of winter. Okay, so you can see I've got a variety of different tropical fruits here, so I'm just going to give you a rundown of what they all are. This, if you've been watching my videos, I actually did one on these. These are cactus fruits. So I can actually cut each one open and show you guys. That'll be a good demonstration. But these are actually pretty sweet. They have sort of like the seeds are like a little bit chewy. It's kind of, oh, there we go. So the seeds are a little bit chewy and they almost remind me of like a cotton candy. It's hard to explain, but it actually reminds me of this other fruit here as well. But they're really healthy for you. Anytime you see a fruit that's got this just bright red in it, it's just full of antioxidants, kind of like similar to a blueberry in a way. But yeah, just a really awesome fruit that we now have access to. From what I understand, these did not used to be carried in the grocery stores. So just, I don't know, within maybe past decade or two, they started carrying these along with the other Mickey Mouse ears, the Mickey Mouse ears of the cactus plant, just the green ones, because those are actually edible too. So yeah, we got that. These little bananas. Okay, so I actually got tired of eating regular bananas. First off, all this, well, it's not all organic, but when I do have the option to get organic, I always do. And I found like that the organic bananas that I was buying, even the best quality organic bananas, they didn't really have that great of a taste anymore. To be honest with you, like, I don't know, maybe it's not the best soil where they're being grown, or, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just me. But anyway, like, I found these little mini bananas actually have a lot better taste to them. So if you've never tried these, I really recommend giving them a shot. Just, they're not much more expensive. They might be slightly more expensive, like pound for pound, but they're worth it. Like, they just taste so much better. If you open it up here, like I'm going to now, see, it just peels like a regular banana. But I find the seeds are a little bit more noticeable when you're eating this. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Like eating a regular banana, fruits, they obviously have their seeds on the inside, and bananas are sort of a tricky one. Like, yeah, so 4-year-old or something like that. Where are the seeds in banana? They may not know because they're a little bit hard to see or hard to find. You don't really notice them too much. But with these little ones, I did tend to notice them a little bit more, not in a bad way. I mean, I don't mind, and eating seeds should not be looked upon as like something that we don't want to do. Like, eating seeds actually means we're getting all of the nutrients that we are supposed to get, like when we consume that food, like watermelon. Don't get seedless watermelon. If you have an option, always get seeded watermelon. And if you don't have the option, just maybe mention something to the manager. Say, hey, I'm gonna get this seedless today, but what I really wanted was organic seeded watermelon. Do you have any of those in stock, or do you have any of those on order? And just see what they say. He or she, whoever it might be, but. Because the seeds in watermelon, they are actually really high in magnesium. So like you get a lot of your sugars from the actual flesh of the fruit, and then you get a lot of the I believe it's like more of the minerals from the seeds. Or I know for sure there's high levels of magnesium in watermelon seeds, which is really it's a vital element that everybody needs, and it's really good for the male reproductive system. So I just find that to be really interesting how like you're always hearing, oh, I'd prefer seedless. I feel like it's been like jammed down everybody's throat. Like growing up as a kid, like it was like the seedless, I think they charged more in one period of time than they did the seeded. But it's just been genetically modified, you know, to not have seeds. Like I don't want to mess with that. I want to eat the whole fruit as it was designed by nature, by God, you know, whatever you want to call it. And that's just what I want to do. So that's that. I did hear one quick little thing in addition about seeds there. I did hear if you take like a genetically modified plant, let's just stick with watermelon, and you put it in a really nurturing, high quality, like soil rich environment, or it's just got just like, you know, the best, some of the best soil. Anyway, it'll, as it grows and matures there, the seeds can actually come back sometimes. So I just thought that was really super interesting. Like even if the genetically modified plant doesn't not have seeds because of its modification, you put it back into like some of the best growing states, its natural state, and just let nature sort of you know, take control over things once again, it will begin to have seeds so it can reproduce. It sort of like fixes itself. I thought that was really interesting because we're hearing a lot about genetic modifications nowadays, not just in our food but actually in ourselves too. There's this machine called CRISPR, and I'm not going to go into details, but essentially I believe you can like choose if your kid wants to have like blue eyes or brown hair, you know, probably what color skin. I don't know, but it's crazy. I'm not into that sort of thing. I don't think we should be messing with all that. But it is interesting, though, that even if we as humans mess with something, the genes of a plant or an animal or a human, somehow nature is still able to recorrect it if it's not right. I thought that was interesting. I just wanted to throw that in there. So anyway, this is a passion fruit. I just started eating these just the other week. So let me cut one of these open. They're pretty interesting. They're like lighter. Like when you pick them up, it's actually really light. It's got somewhat of like a thicker outside, but then you get to the inside, and although it may not look very pretty, it does taste pretty good. It can be a little bit sour, so I don't know if that's, I'm just not getting ones that are perfectly ripe, and maybe they're picked too early and all that, but, or if that's just how they're supposed to be, but they're like semi-sweet with some sour undertones, I'll say that. But yeah, you just, and it's really cool. Like it looks like a goop, like, I don't know. It's just sort of like a goopy, like center, but I thought it was really interesting, and I do like them. And you can just tell, like whenever you eat these, that you're just getting inoculated with like really strong, like tiny microbacteria that are just gonna like aid all your beneficial bacteria and get your digestive system on the right track and just get you healthy, basically. So definitely recommend the passion fruit. What else? Okay. These are dragon fruits. I have tried these. I tried these for the first time maybe like 4 years ago, and they're totally awesome. If you get a perfectly ripe one and you're hungry and you know you want some sugar, yeah, they're really awesome. Let me do I'll do the red one first. So interestingly enough, these were both $3.99. You can see the size difference. And all of these were the same size, roughly. Some of the red ones are smaller, but this was like the biggest yellow one that I could find. So, yeah, I'm just gonna cut this down the middle. And you can see, look at that awesome center right there. Isn't that cool? It almost reminds me of a kiwi, but it's definitely a little bit sweeter. So these are really awesome. And this particular fruit, or this piece right here, looks really, really good. I'll probably definitely eat that tonight. I guess I'll have to eat everything that I cut open, but which I don't typically do. Typically, when I'm eating fruit like this, like I'll typically eat like one or two. Maybe I might eat a lot of cactus fruits, and bananas. Maybe like, or just all bananas, or just just this kind. Or the thing is, like, you don't always need to be mixing a whole bunch of different types of fruits, or any type of food. The simpler you eat, the better off you are. If you want to eat it all, mix all it up, it's not a problem, but it's just, if you're going for high levels of health, the simpler, the better. And that's just a golden rule of thumb. Regardless, if you eat all this right here, that's one healthy diet, so good on you. I just like to let people know, it's like, hey, there is like a next level if you would just eat, stick to like one specific type of fruit. That's like next level stuff. It's called mono meals, is what that's called. So when you eat one type of food per meal, that's called eating mono meals. It's very good for like a clear mind and just keeping the blood super clean. So that's all. All right, let's see what the yellow dragon fruit looks like. I feel like I called it a star fruit before. It's definitely dragon fruit. So similar type of fruit here. You can see it looks essentially the same. It's got that sort of a kiwi-esque like flesh to it. On this one, it looks like the seeds are a little bit bigger. I don't get the yellow ones too often, but yeah, it looks like compared to the red, the seeds are a little bit bigger, and I can tell you if it's sweeter or not. Oh, that's awesome. Really sweet. A little bit orangey. I'm going to try the red one. The red one's good, but I really like these yellow ones. I'm sure it depends, which specific piece you get as far as like when it was picked. I'm sure there's some variables in that, but wow, I really like the yellow one here. So definitely recommend the yellow one as a favorite so far. All right, so raw food writer, what is that big green thing? Is that an apple? No, it's not an apple. It is a guava fruit. So apparently it's a large guava, and this is pretty much the biggest one they had. And from what I understand, because this is actually the first one that I've ever bought. So my first guava fruit, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. Apparently it somewhat resembles the consistency of a pear. So let's just cut right into it. And that's the other thing with these tropical fruits here. Don't be afraid to just get one that you're not familiar with, take it home, hack into it, and just see what it's all about. That's basically what I've done with all these right here. One night I bought the passion fruits for the first time. A little bit before that, it was the cactus fruit. It's just sort of take a chance. Like, you're not going to mess up, and even if it is a bad piece of fruit, you didn't know what you were doing when you were selecting it, it's fine. You'll still learn about it, and you'll be that much better off for having the knowledge that you do, now that you wouldn't have if you did not buy it. I don't know if that was like triple negatives or what, but anyway, let's just cut this open. I'm just saying, don't be afraid to take a chance, like with buying fruit, because you really can't go wrong at the end of the day. Cool. And you can watch YouTube videos. I actually watched a short YouTube video on the guava fruit just because I wanted to, see exactly how you eat it and everything. So if you're not 100% sure or 100% confident, just looking up. We live in amazing times. Speaking of amazing times, how about, as I said in the intro, it's, January, Pennsylvania, got snow outside, and I'm eating tropical fruit. How awesome is that? I realize, it's a blessing to be able to afford this. It is a little expensive, but this is where my priorities are. So if other people want to put their priorities into getting the fastest car, or I don't know, the biggest house, some high-tech smartphone that just makes you dumber, that's their priority. My priority is, education and fruit, I guess. High quality food is what I like to spend my money on. Not all of it, We obviously have to save, but with the extra money that I do have, I like to buy good quality food. Okay, so this is definitely thicker. This is more like an apple. Kind of like a dry apple. Kind of like a pear. Let me see here. I know this video is turning into a long one, but I really want to get better at making just short, concise videos. But sometimes, I don't know, they just seem to go longer. And I feel like I'm constantly giving new material, so I hope you guys are definitely getting something out of it. But here, check this out. So that's a slice of the guava. And yeah, like I said, it's just kind of dry looking. Smells, I don't know, it doesn't really have a whole lot of smell to it. Like, it's kind of like the rind on a watermelon. That's kind of like what it smells like. Actually, maybe with a little bit more of like green, like your wheatgrass. Like, when you juice up a shot of wheatgrass. Like the rind of a watermelon mixed with some wheatgrass. It's like that type of a green aroma. But let me see how it tastes. Oh, no. No, just kidding. It's not bad. I'll be honest, this is not my favorite thing that I've tried. This is by far my favorite. And the Cactus Fruit. These are actually pretty legit too. Oh, and the bananas. They're just super sweet little bombs. It's awesome. It's not that this is bad. I feel like this would be a great complement to a salad. Like, just chop these up into like thin little sort of like spears and just put them on as like a salad topping. I think that would be awesome. But yeah, the seeds are a little bit chewy too. So if you have sensitive teeth, I've heard you can actually scoop that out too. So you can scoop out sort of the center where the seeds are, if that's your thing. I recommend eating the seeds, like I said prior, but to each their own. Or if you have little kids or something like that, they don't want to. But okay, you guys, that's pretty much everything. So I really appreciate y'all tuning in. I know everybody's busy, you got a lot going on, so thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you're staying warm, staying healthy, and being as raw as possible. In the coming up videos, I'm going to be talking about my future trip to Dr. Morris's level 1 detoxification class. So I've actually already bought my ticket, and I'm like getting ready to like make my plans official and just purchase travel affairs and take care of all that. But I'm super excited for the meeting. It's like a week-long educational class, so just really excited. I'm going to brush up on my material, do some reading, and you come away with a certification from it, so it should be a really awesome time. If anyone else from my audience is actually going, send me an email, or shoot me, or at least like type a comment or something, and I'll be sure to read it and get back to you. So just thanks again, you guys. Take care. Peace.